Welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. We're in the kitchen today. We're going to go from this to this. Come along, I'll show you how to make a real quick chili powder. There's nothing I like more than a little spice in my food, and I know I can just run down to the grocery store and buy a cheap chili powder off the shelf. But man, I can make my own too, and I can do that with the varieties of chili peppers that I want to grow. And I've got some unique ones in my garden, and I'd like to try to make some Korean chili paste. I've got some jalapenos that are out there producing like crazy. Might as well make some jalapeno chili powder. And I've got cayennes, tons of them. And I've been making my own cayenne powder for several years now. It's really easy. It's almost so easy there shouldn't even be videos about it. But if you don't know, it's not a dumb question. Let me show you how to do it. All right, we're going to pick some peppers before the storm blows in. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to make pepper powder. Got these jalapenos here. I like mine to be ripe, but I've already picked a bunch of ripe ones, so we'll get these dark ones here and we'll let the rest of them kind of darken up a bit. You could pick them, and I have in the past, just like this. When they're green, throw a few green ones in there for good measure. Okay, I have these gochujang peppers, and look, they're still producing in the heat of summer. I've been picking these guys for months now, and I've got about 2 quarts in the freezer. We'll add these to it, and we will put these away as well. These are a Korean pepper, normally used for making a pepper paste. You can see some are well beyond their due date here, like that one there. That has been drying on the vine. That's okay, we can use that. I've got a lot of flowers on this bush here. So, yeah, I'm going to let this plant keep growing even in the heat of summer, even when the rest of this bed is going to be flamed down and turned into fallow ground. So, that's my gochujang. Got some ripe jalapenos here. I like them this way. And they're red. Well, that one got away from me. We'll have to fish it out. Let's see it down here in the weeds. There we go. Now, I've shown you guys this before. We're going to cut up these peppers and put them on the dehydrator rack, dry them, and then grind them up. I've got several different kinds of peppers here today. So I'm going to do my jalapenos. I like to have jalapeno powder. It's very good for various kinds of cooking. In fact, this is my jalapeno powder from last year, and I don't have much left. And I did green jalapenos. This year, most of my jalapenos are red, so we're going to do a red jalapeno powder. And I'm just going to chop these into halves, put them on here on the rack, and see how much room we have left for our gochujang peppers, our Korean peppers, these guys right here. So these are going to be made into gochujang powder, and I've got some in the freezer. I need to thaw those out. Look at these guys. I've got a couple of quarts of these gochujang peppers here, these chilies, and I froze them. They've been frozen for quite a while. I've been harvesting these for a couple of months now. But I'm going to dump these out. We're going to wash them because they've been kind of growing on plants that have been hanging in the dirt. So we're going to wash these off and let them thaw. Then we'll cut them up, put them on our dehydrator, and we're good. All right, so just take the stem off, save that for compost, cut it in half, put it on my dehydrator. I'm going to leave the seeds in because I'm grinding these not normal way. Normally I use a mortar and pestle, but this year I'm going to get myself a coffee grinder slash spice grinder dedicated to this task. I used to have one, but it broke, and I can't grind up pepper powder and chili powder in my coffee grinder. That would not go over well with the family or me. So we'll just cut these. And notice this time, if you've watched any of my pepper and chili videos in the past, notice this time I'm wearing gloves. Yes, sometimes you just don't want to mess with the inevitable going touch yourself in some eyeball or sensitive part of the body and it's hot, fiery. You don't want that. So take care of that, head it off at the pass by wearing some gloves. These are Jedi F1 hybrid jalapenos from Johnny Select Seeds. These have done very well for me for, well, now I'm on my second year. Since they're hybrid seeds, you can't save the seeds and expect to get the same results each time. You'll probably get some genetic regression, and you'll have probably one of the parent varieties. And we don't want that. We want the actual hybrid, because this hybrid has been selected for large peppers, good production, disease resistance, and all that. And that's what we want. We want to keep that trait within our garden. So, unfortunately for hybrid seeds, you have to buy your seeds again each year. Next, I'm going to try to get all these gochujang chilies on the next 2 levels here. And I'm going to treat them in the same manner. I'm going to cut them in half and just lay them up there. The cutting in half serves 2 purposes. One, to help them dehydrate quicker because the flesh is exposed to the warm air that's circulating around. Number 2, I can inspect the chili pepper for any bugs or ugly stuff I don't want to see in there. Because sometimes you get wireworms in these cayenne style peppers, and wireworms, well, you don't want to be eating those, do you? So that's what we have left over of our gochujang chilies. My 4 decks are all full. I've started them dehydrating right here because it's raining outside. So once the rain's gone, we'll put this out on the front porch and finish them off. Okay, here are our dried peppers. These were in here for several hours, many hours, so that they're nice and crispy. This is what we want. Crispiness, no moisture whatsoever. The next step is to grind this into powder. Now, I'm going to use this coffee grinder / spice grinder. I bought this one just for these peppers. So, take a look at what we got. Lots of nice crispy dry peppers. Super, these will powder up real nice. You see how much they've reduced in size, and you'll be surprised how much they reduce in volume. Here's our jalapenos down here. I was able to conglomerate them all onto one mat here. So, these ought to be very crispy now. Yes. And here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to put them in here and grind them up. It's the easiest way. So, let's do our jalapenos first. Get in there as many as I can. And we're just going to pulverize them. We're going to give it a full send here and just powder these down into virtually nothing. If I can get that on. That's why you don't use your coffee grinder, because it's going to leave a lot of this fine powder in there. Now I'm going to grind these until the seeds are pulverized as well. If you want a coarser powder, like a pizza topping of something, you don't have to grind it as much. Now if you're sensitive to the powder getting in your nose, wear a mask and open gently. Let everything kind of settle down, or you'll just get a puff, and that'll get in your eyes, get in your nose, and that's not what we want here. Alright, I think that's good. I can see powder coming out right here. So it does get out. One thing you can do to keep the powder from coming up in your nose is just cover it with a napkin and grind away. I find this far easier than a mortar and pestle. I'm just going to store this in a jar. Now this, because it doesn't have any kind of agent in it to keep it dry, will cake. You don't use an anti-caking agent. Just take a spoon and chop it up in there. Pure, unadulterated chili powder now. This is the jalapeno. I'll put it in this jar, label it, and use it as I need it. Now for our gochujang peppers. These are Korean pepper. we're going to make this into a, if I have enough, I'm going to make this into a Korean gochujang paste. I did just wipe out my grinder here with a paper towel, just so I'm not blending too many flavors. All right, well, there's our gochujang powder. Let's see if we can fit it all into this jar. I think we can. I think it's the ideal jar. And it might be enough for us to make a paste. If not, I'll have a few more harvests and we'll dry those and add to our stockpile here. This on the nasal cavity has not been as potent. So those jalapenos must be some pretty potent chili peppers. All those peppers reduced down to just that much. But they will store almost indefinitely, and you can use it for all kinds of things. Okay, here we are. I'm going to taste these. We've gone from dried peppers to pepper powder, chili powder, and we've made that real simply by drying them on a dehydrator. You can get that dehydrator on Amazon for about $40. Last time I checked, that's how much they were, and I bought one just around December. I know prices are going up, but that's that's when I bought it last. And you can get that little grinder for under $20. I bought one on Amazon just the other day. So what I'm going to do is taste the gochujang pepper first. It's gochujang, I think. Gochujang. And I'm just gonna wet my finger. It's my stuff, so I can do that, okay? And I'm gonna get a little spot just like that. Now, I didn't smoke these peppers. Here comes the heat a little bit building up. But that's a pretty potent, spicy pepper. Chili. I keep calling it peppers. That's what we call them here. Chilies, peppers. We don't make the distinction. It's very flavorful. Almost a little smoky. Almost no floral to it. You know, some of these chili peppers have a nice floral taste. I'm trying to compare it maybe almost like a paprika, but spice. That's where I would say. That's what I would say. It's like paprika, but spicy. And not too spicy at all. I'm surprised. Now my jalapenos, they put a whooping on me when I was grinding them. And my nasal cavities are nice and clear. So I expect these to be pretty spicy jalapenos. Let's see. I'm going to do the same thing. Just take the tip of my finger. And there we go. So close that up before I gas myself out. I know that's kind of gross to some folks, but hey, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But that's what we're doing here. Okay, so we have, oh, here it comes. Yeah, it's getting around my mouth now. Definite jalapeno. You can taste that distinctive jalapeno flavor. Pretty spicy, but not any more than I would expect from a jalapeno. Yeah, that's good. That's going to make a great powder for spicing up your Mexican food and using it just as a general chili powder. You want that jalapeno flavor. I really like to let them get red like that. That's good pepper. Well, pretty spicy, and it's still building. Yeah, I'm going to take a drink of water. Well, there we go. We've made our chili powders. It's really easy. You can do that here in these dog days of summer where there's not a lot of gardening going on outside right now that I can show you. I've been trying to make these little videos that show you how I'm using the produce of the garden. So thanks for joining me today. And if you like these videos, please say so down in the comments. I'd like to read your comments and respond to you when I can. So, hey, thanks for joining us on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. You guys have happy gardening. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.